So now that we generated text completions, let's focus on the next feature, which is image generations. You can also do this with OpenAI with our native integration using the DALL-E model. And the way to do that is really simple. So let's adjust this flow basically to match the image generation instead. So if we go with the question, let's say, what image would you like to generate? We will save it in the exact same custom field, so we don't have to change anything. For now, let's go towards OpenAI and go towards the create text completion, and let's change this action. Let's change this action into image generation. And inside this image generation prompt, we can just go with the exact same custom field again, which is response. So let's imagine that we want to generate a text for our social media post, for example, something about AI. Really fitting. So let's say generate an image about AI, and let's just see if OpenAI is creative enough to generate something about this topic. The next part is the number of images. Default is set to 1, but you can generate a lot of images at the same time if you like to. We will leave it at 1 for now for this example. And let's also choose the size. We have 3 different kinds of sizes: 256 by 256, 512, and 1024. Let's just choose the middle one for now. And let's also clear this JSON path at the bottom because we do not need it. And let's see what OpenAI can come up with. So it will take a few seconds, just like with the text generation, but it is pretty fast. And as you can see, the result is already entered. You will see a URL. So instead of mapping it first, let's take a look at what OpenAI came up with. Do note that AI generation tools in general have a lot of issues if the prompt is not correct, right? So, but let's see what OpenAI came up with in this case. So let's go towards this specific image. And we get an image like this. So AI, I can understand. The L, I don't understand too much. And then we have some kind of AI image, I'm assuming AI face. So it's not too bad. It's not the greatest as well. So let's change the prompt actually. Let's say we want a Japanese garden, a little bit more specific, with blossom trees and a pond. So let's see if OpenAI can generate landscapes a little bit better. So let's go with test the request again. And this will again take a few seconds. And then once the result is here, let's just see what the result is by going towards this URL. And this is actually a really pretty good image. So landscapes are really well done with OpenAI, it seems. And this is generated directly on the spot, which you can use on social media posts inside your blog. If you are talking about nature or traveling or about traveling blogs, then you can definitely use this image right away. So first, let us map this result to a custom field, which we can use inside the chatbot itself. So we can just map it by pressing the circle left towards the URL. And then we can go with the OpenAI response again. There we go. And let's say add, and then press save. Now the next step will be to give an example. So we can just clear this. We can also clear this. We don't need it. And we can just go with the bottom half of this node. And let's say just press the button below to download the image. Let's go with try again. And let's say download image. Let's select the next step, open the website, and from this we will just go with the OpenAI response because we saved the URL of this image there. Let's press save, and then let's also add a button to try again. So let's say try again. And this one can go towards the question block, just so we can loop it around a little bit. And let's see what kind of results that we can get back, right? So let's say preview in the side of a pop-up. Let's try to make OpenAI generate a totally different image. So let's go with that because we know that the results for landscapes are a little bit better. And let's see what OpenAI generates. Download the image. And there we have it. So landscape-wise, OpenAI generates some really good content. Let's do one more because I was meaning to try something for a blog post for myself. So let's say, what image would you like to generate? An office space with a round table and a projector in the middle. So let's see if OpenAI can generate some virtual office spaces. So let's say download image. And that's a pretty decent one actually, to be honest. So we have the office space, we have the ceiling, we have the projector screen, and we also have the round table with the projector on in the middle. Well, not in the middle, but it is at least on, on the table, right? So this is a really cool feature. But we can take it another step. So we can go back inside the action block, and inside this action block, we can actually increase the number of images. So let's say we are going to generate 5 images. Then we will need to test the request again because we will get a different kind of data set back because we now get multiple URLs back. So we will need to save this as a JSON field. As you can see, we will get a data. We now have 1 URL, 2 URLs, 3, 4, and 5. So to map all of them, we are going with data. And we're going to go with OpenAI and let's say image generation. I already created that beforehand. And then let's say add. Let's delete the other one because we don't need it for now. And the cool thing that you now can do is you can generate the images, but you can also display them directly towards the user inside of a nice looking gallery overview. So the way to do that is if we just remove this, we are going with a for each step. Inside this for each step, we first need to select our JSON field. So in this case, it would be image generation. Then we can enter the image URL. So we can go with item. We can select the image URL. And we can then say download image as a title. Or we can just leave this blank and we can only give a button as a call to action. We can say download image. There we go. The next step is really important though, because if we select the next step, it will not be open website, but it will be to have the select enabled. This means that we are going to save the user's choice of the selected image. And from there, we will be able to give them the correct URL towards that image. So the next step of this button will be a new text message. And we can then say something like, and then we can add another button. We can now say download. Download now. And then we can go with an open website. But instead of using the OpenAI response, because it's not saved there, we need to use the select system field. Then go with item. And in this case, we need the extension. So the extension that we are looking for is URL, because that is the information that we are wanting to save and to give towards the user. So if we save this, we should get a nice looking gallery overview. So let's publish this and let's preview this inside of web, inside of a pop-up, and to see what we get. And there we have it. So we have the mountains in the background, as you can see, with a nice forest and a river running through it. And you will get basically a preview of the image that you want to select. So if we say we want to have this image, we can say download image, and then we will get the download button towards this specific image. And we can do that with another one as well. So if we want the first one, we can say download image, and there we have it. So we have a lot of use cases in generating images. You can use them for your blogs, you can use them for your social media posts, and you can also use them as a lead magnet basically to let people generate free images inside of your chatbot. Do take caution that generating images will take more of your credit inside of OpenAI than then text generations. So all will need to have and find a balance, but in general you will be able to generate AI images within just seconds. In the next videos we're going into the other features of OpenAI, and that is text embedding.